Okay, today we're going to cover how to date as a rich or wealthy man. And I'm going to share some practices that I have learned from working with multiple men who are in that 7 to 8 figure range as a business owner or entrepreneur. And I'm going to give you some guidelines so that you are able to meet the woman that you want, find your ideal girlfriend, and start a relationship with her without being taken advantage of. And that's one of the main worries that men who are at a certain level have when they're meeting women. They just want to make sure that the woman that they're with is with them because she likes them, not their money, and she doesn't have some alternate scheme or plan to take advantage of him. So that's what we're going to cover today. The first of all, I want to say that how you meet women is a very big factor on whether you're going to be able to find that ideal girlfriend or not. I have covered this in other videos. What I really recommend is that you learn how to cold approach, which means that you learn how to speak to women in any situation in public. Meaning, if you're just walking towards your gym and you see a woman that you find attractive, you can strike a conversation with her. If you're just in a park doing some running, some jogging, and you see a woman reading a book, you can approach her respectfully and speak to her. The same in a mall, the same in a library, the same in any situation that you can think of. Why? Because this opens up many possibilities of types of women that otherwise you wouldn't meet. You wouldn't meet them. You wouldn't meet all of them through your social circle because that's impossible. You wouldn't meet them, all of them in social media like Instagram or dating apps because not all of them are there or not all of them are going to reply to you. And you open yourself to many different possibilities, including that type of woman who is amazing at being your future partner, who has the qualities that you want. Someone calm, someone that gives you peace, someone that understands you, with whom you have an amazing connection. So, number one, cold approach. And there's another reason why cold approach is so powerful, especially for a wealthy man. And it is that you see a true level and measurement of interest from the girl before she knows any context about you. What does this mean? It means that whenever you're in a dating app, whenever you try to meet someone through Instagram, you have a lot of information about you there. Maybe you do not show off too much, but the girl can still see if you have certain background, if you're a certain type of person in terms of your success level. And if you really want to see the true raw attraction that a woman feels for you, you're going to find that through cold approach. Because in those first 2 to 4 minutes when you're meeting her in person, she still doesn't know anything about you other than your energy, your voice, the little jokes that you're going to make, the conversation, the small talk that you're having. And you can see in her eyes, and you can also see through the responses that she gives you both in person and then if you get her contact through text, if she's actually interested in you before even knowing whether you have money or not. So again, if your goal is to find your ideal girlfriend without being taken advantage of, cold approach has that immense, incredible power of filtering. Number two, and this is more of a guideline of a tip, is that you do not have to lead with money, and you also don't want to go to the other extreme. So here I see two types of wealthy men. Number one is the one that from the first moment he tries to show off and he tries to present an image of success to the woman. He tries to go to the most expensive, most insane places with her only, and he tries to even start to give some gifts to show the appreciation in the first dates. And that's one extreme. And the other extreme is a rich man, a wealthy man who has maybe been burned before, and now he goes to the other extreme where he even says to split the bill to test if the woman is gonna react badly or not. So there's like two extremes, and you want to be somewhere in the middle where you do not lead with money, which means that you're not trying to impress the woman with money. And this is both in your actions, but it's also in your thoughts and your beliefs. You need this specific belief, which is you do not need your money to attract a woman. Attraction is something primal. It's something that has nothing to do with the amount of coins that you have in your pocket. Yes, for a long term relationship, that is a factor for women. And I'm going to talk about that a bit later on. But I'm talking the raw attraction that she feels for you has nothing to do with your credentials, with your work, with the coins that you have in your pocket. And that's a belief that you have to have installed in your mind. One way that I got this belief is that me, myself, through my story, okay, and this is me, everybody has a different story. Me, I learned cold approach and I learned how to attract women before I had much success financially. So that's a good way to prove yourself to your brain that, okay, no matter what, I can do this. I can go up to a woman in any place. Uh, Sometimes I had like nothing in my bank account, invite her to her home, which is less than impressive, in which I'm living with roommates, and there's still that attraction. You prove yourself that, but that doesn't mean that this has to be your story. If you have come upon good success in your work and you still haven't found that huge, vast experience in terms of attraction with women, that's okay. And you can still build that belief. Number one, by intervening directly and understanding that. And number two, what I was talking about before, cold approach. If without sharing much about your work, much about your success, you can still get results with cold approach. The woman still gives you the contact. The woman still agrees to a date without knowing like vast information about you in terms of your work and your success. Then it means that you're attracting her without needing that. So do not lead with money because you do not need that. And in many cases, it's just going to be a compensation tool. So when a man that isn't able to generate that raw attraction, he tries to compensate with what he knows, with what he logically understands, which is money. And then you fall in the full frame of the provider. And it's one that you want for long-term relationships. Yes, you have to be a provider, but you do not want to have that only role in your relationship, because then the woman is going to try to find that raw attraction somewhere else, and then the trouble starts. So again, don't lead with money, but also don't go to the other extreme. Number three, filter, filter, filter. This is like the phrase location, location, location when talking about real estate, but now when talking about finding your ideal woman as a 7 to 8 figure entrepreneur, filter, filter, filter. Understand that not every woman who gives you attention and gives you affection is meant to be your wife or your girlfriend. And this is very complicated, not to understand. Understanding is easy, but when you're in the situation when an attractive woman is giving you attention and affection, and she wants to meet you, and she has interest for you, you start ignoring things that your logical mind should have, which is the red flags. You start ignoring all of them because you're blinded by her beauty and you're blinded by her affection. So you have to filter, filter, filter. Understand that you have certain standards as a man that you want in your relationship, and you just have to make sure that the woman that you have by your side is within those standards. And by the way, she's gonna do the same. She has certain standards, and she wants the man she's with to fall under those standards. That's totally normal. So you just gotta make sure that you have that fit, which is very important. And here's the tricky thing. Whenever you get to a point where the woman sees that you're of a certain caliber, there's going to be certain type of women who are very intelligent. And by the way, there's infinite information on YouTube and on the internet. You can try to search how to date a wealthy man, or tips to attract, to manipulate a wealthy man to be your provider, things like this. You're going to find a lot of content and with a lot of views. So it's not like women nowadays are these innocent creatures who don't know anything. No, many of them read psychology books, and many of them watch this type of content. So you also have to be a bit wary and careful because of your position to make sure that you're filtering out the women who are putting a facade and who are not being honest with you and who have some ulterior motives for being with you. And that's why filter, filter, filter. And number 4, I'm going to give you a final, bonus tip that many men fall under when they're dating a woman and when that man is someone successful financially, which is the following frame. The frame that sex is something that she gives you, not something that you both do, you both enjoy, that you both create together. But no, it's something that she gives you when you have been good to her. And this is a frame that gets installed very early on and in very subtle ways. So whenever you start to think about things like, oh, am I going to get lucky tonight? Am I going to get lucky tonight? Is she going to give it to me tonight? Whenever you start to think in those terms, or, okay, I'm going to do something good so that we can sleep together. Whenever you start to think and put those patterns in your mind, like, I'll do this to get the sex, then you start falling into this frame. And even if you start a relationship with that woman, the problem is going to be that that frame is going to be present throughout the relationship. And sex is going to be used as a tool to manipulate you. Again, this is not all women. As I said in another video, there's amazing, incredible, good, gentle women out there. And the goal is that you meet them and you find one who is the perfect fit for you. But I'm just talking about these frames and these guidelines and these things to be wary of, because you're going out there and you're interacting with people that you do not know. And you have to have a certain filter and a certain guideline in your mind to, again, the goal of this video, date and find your ideal woman without being taken advantage of. So again, just to sum up the 4 points. Number 1, how you date the women, how you meet them is very important. Cold approach is king in this aspect. Number 2, do not lead with money, but also do not go to the other extreme. You can be nice, you can take her to amazing places without worrying whether you're spending something or another quantity. You don't have to have like a calculator in your mind. You can just do whatever you would do normally without trying to impress her. So if you normally go to great restaurants, for example, in my case, I really enjoy it. If I'm gonna eat out, I really enjoy to go to a nice restaurant. The quality is good, the ambience is nice. So when I'm with my girl, we go to nice restaurants because I enjoy it. And number 3, filter, filter, filter. Understand that you're gonna have to have certain standards, and the woman that you have by your side should fall within those standards. If not, find someone else who is compatible. And number 4, be careful with the frame that sex is something she gives you. That's not the right frame. The frame, which is the natural, which is normal, is that sex is something you do together and to the benefit of both of you. It's not a transactional thing. It's something that is created by genuine, raw desire by both of you. And that's why we go back to point number 1. When you meet her through cold approach and she likes you before knowing your credentials, then you know that you have that raw attraction. So everything is related, everything is together. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're a 7 to 8 figure entrepreneur or business owner and you want to find your ideal girlfriend without relying on dating apps or social media, send me a message. You'll have somewhere to do that in the description of this video, and I'll see you next time.